Hi, I'm Dave. 5 years ago, I converted the upstairs of my house to an Airbnb apartment and retired on the income. This channel is about how I did it, what it's like, and the challenges that I face. So please join me. I will endeavor to do my best to both entertain and inform. Okay, so maybe it's not exactly in my backyard. And yeah, maybe the thumbnail is a bit clickbaitish, but this is YouTube, and I do want to fit in. But in my defense, there is a filthy and noisy trash compactor a mere 20 feet from my property. And this is one of the first things my guests see when they exit the property on their way downtown. Myself, neighbors, business owners, we've all complained about the filth for years. I even resorted to guerrilla journalism, producing one of my first videos and posting it onto one of our fantastic local city Facebook groups, the 9,000 plus member Fabulous Ferndale Forum. Here's a slightly abridged version. Pardon the portrait orientation. Ah, the Troy Street grease traps. Their presence in the West Troy Street parking lots has been a Ferndale landmark of sorts for as long as I've lived here. They're filthy, they're disgusting, they draw rats. Indeed, over the years, the entire dumpster complex has cast the city in a very poor light and been a sanitation nightmare for nearby residents, with the filth drawing rats and the stink infesting our yards. So I was thrilled to see that there would be a dumpster room in our new parking structure. But the structure has been open for more than 3 months now, and the disgusting filth remains in our parking lot. I inquired with a city official a month ago as to why the filth remained, and was told that despite the fact that the city had years to plan for this, they had not procured the necessary system for allowing entry to the room to the local businesses. I had a good response to the video, a lot of views and likes and comments. The mayor even commented. Yet, 2 months later, the filth is still in our parking lot. However, there are rumors that soon I and my guests and my neighbors and the people who come to downtown Ferndale and park in this lot will no longer have to endure this mess. Stick around. After part 1 of the apartment tour, we'll have an update on this story. Well, man, it's got a shade on Sweet Georgia Brown. Left me but oh so neat has Sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and wanna die for Sweet Georgia Brown. I'll tell you why. You know I don't lie much. It's been said she knocks 'em dead when she comes to town. Since she came, why it's a shame how she cools 'em down. Fellas, she can't get our fellas. She ain't met. Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her Sweet Georgia Brown. In a very competitive market, where I have to compete with whole house rentals, I have an occupancy rate that approaches 90%. In my opinion, much of my success can be attributed to my high star rating and my superb reviews. Ratings and reviews that are driven in part by the decor of the apartment. Anyone can buy boxes of furniture from IKEA. If you set yourself apart by creating for your guests an environment that is interesting and entertaining, you will be rewarded with both good reviews and the personal satisfaction that comes from reading and hearing these comments. And as you'll see, you don't have to spend a lot of money. We'll start the tour in the stairwell. I don't usually go for this kind of mass-produced tat, but I do love the subject and the fact that it's an architectural drawing and the fact that it's got a skeleton key. I have a pair of these leaded glass windows up here. They're actually insulated glass from entry doors that I found in the trash. This is the kitchenette dining area. First, we'll have a quick look around. Then I'll go into detail about some of the cooler stuff. This 30s gossip bench is one of my favorite pieces. When I bought it, the seat had already been recovered with something really ugly, and when I took it off, I found the original fabric with the original wear. I decided to leave it as is. It's so evocative. And it was $20 at the Value World. The phone is also from the 30s. I got it for $10 at a yard sale. Above the gossip bench hangs this matching pair of paint by numbers. Paint by numbers took kitsch to a different level, and this matching pair of still lifes with the antique gold frames are just a superb example of the genre. And it was only $20 for the pair at the Sunday Royal Oak Farmers Market flea market. Here's a butcher block counter sitting on top of a recycled bookshelf that I got for $10. I spent another $20 on tin ceiling panels to cover the back of the bookcase. This is an original oil, purchased at a yard sale for a few bucks. It's nice to have some actual paintings in the art mix. Another way I save money is framing prints with second-hand frames. Next, the living room. You'll notice I'm passing over showing the sofa. That's because it's a very ugly, but very comfortable IKEA futon. It was only $50 on Craigslist, almost as new. Another favorite piece is this very early example of an upholstered recliner. It's probably from sometime in the 30s. Close to 90 years old, the upholstery is in amazing condition. Complete with the original antimacassars on the arms and back, this is almost like a museum piece. You just don't find old pieces of upholstered furniture in this kind of near mint condition. $20 at the flea market. The globe was $1 at a yard sale. The cartoon balloon was added. I got this upholstered chair new with the tags on. I only paid $35 for it on discount day at the Salvation Army. I like how it blends with what I consider to be the focal point of the room, which is this vintage late 30s streamlined modern radio cabinet. The flat screen sitting on top is such a cool juxtaposition. You can tell by the call letters on the push-button station selector that the radio's original home was in Chicago. Note the short wave bands on the glass display. I can just imagine the original owner listening to the BBC from London during World War II. And the radio cabinet was yet another trash find, although I did have to refinish it. It is a big plus if you like secondhand shopping. And you're not going to find these kind of items at these kind of prices every day at the Salvation Army or at the flea market. However, there's lots of cool stuff available online, either on eBay or Craigslist. And you can browse yard and estate sales on Craigslist with a lot of people having pictures or even videos of what they're trying to sell. That ends part one of the tour. Stay tuned for the filth update. So there has definitely been progress on the filth front. The trash compactor has been moved into the parking structure. I barely missed getting footage of it leaving the parking lot. However, I did get shots of them disconnecting the electrical and moving the hydraulic unit. And I did get this shot of it being put into its new home. However, as you can see, the grease traps and recycling bins are still here. In fact, it's been more than a week since they moved the compactor, and the refuse room is still not being used. Instead, there's a couple of these bins that are now for the garbage. I had a nice chat with a couple of the guys from the DPW who were doing this job. And I gotta say, the guys from the DPW are great. They do a wonderful job for the city. And was told that most of the rest of this stuff would go into the refuse room. No timeline was given as to when. So when the refuse room will go into operation is a mystery. I have a guess as to why it's not being used, but I don't want to speculate here. I'm just glad the compactor is gone. So that's all for now. And don't forget what Elvis said. You don't want to miss my next video. We will finish the apartment tour, check in on the filth, and also show another example of my guerrilla journalism, this time exposing a local developer flaunting safety regulations and putting citizens at risk. See you next time.